లైవ్ వీడియో మొత్తం లైవ్ తీసుకో
మొత్తం లైవ్
మొత్తం
సినిమాటిక్ ఫోటోలు.
ఇప్పుడు టెస్ట్ మోనల్స్ ఎప్పుడు తీసుకుంటాం టెస్ట్ మోనల్ కూడా ఎప్పుడు తీసుకుంటాం
అరే ఫోటోలు కంటిన్యూ తీసుకోవాలరా లోపల
టెస్ట్ మోనల్స్ ఎప్పుడైతే
చెప్పలేము ఎప్పుడెప్పుడు వస్తే అప్పుడు.
Anticipated awards ceremony. I am Meghna and I am honored to be your host for this prestigious evening. So let's celebrate the visionaries and places who are shaping the future of AI. Welcome to the InnovAtIon Gala Awards 2024. To officially commence this remarkable evening, we have the honor of inviting Mr. Rahul Pair, CEO of MATS, to deliver the welcome address. Under his visionary leadership, MATS has established itself as an innovation catalyst, empowering AI/ML startups with the tools and supports they need to disrupt the market and achieve rapid commercializations. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Rahul Pair onto the stage.
Thank you, Meghna. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, everyone, and welcome to MATS. Glad to have all of you here, and in some time, we'll also have our chief guest for the evening, Honorable IT Minister, sir. Till then, we have a lot of events lined up, and we'll take you through that. But before we get started with the event, I just want to give you a glimpse of what MATS has done in the last couple of months, who we are, and what is our vision. So MATS officially started back in March 7th, 2024. So we are less than 1 year old formally. We started operating as an incubator focused on AI. Our journey was very humble, and in last 6-7 months, what we have achieved is more than 87 startups work from our premises. More than 900 startups works in our ecosystem across India, and there are 30 odd startups which are across the world beyond India, which are also associated with us and taking all the benefits. So that is what all MATS has achieved. My colleague Anirudh, when he comes, he will also show you what all we have done in terms of the event. But just to give you a glimpse, our vision and mission is to support AI startups, and for that, what we are doing, we are working relentlessly to support our startups with the compute capabilities. We are probably the largest ecosystem in the country to provide the maximum data access for our startups to help them train their algorithms. And also we are working relentlessly to skill people around AI and related technologies. So with those goals in mind, our vision to make AI everywhere is towards what we are working. We thank to TIHA, Government of Telangana, and obviously our DST, which has mainly funded and given the grant for MATS to come into existence, for all the support in terms of ecosystem, mentorship, and funding that we have got from all these people. With this, I would like to end my speech for now, and I will let others, the award winners, the guests, and other speakers to give you a glimpse of what all we have achieved, and that itself will be a testament of our success, what we have done in last 1 year. Thank you, and welcome again to MATS.
Thank you, Rahul, for setting the stage for the next evening ahead. Now I would like to invite Mr. Anirudh Reddy, the head of operations of MATS, to come forward. Anirudh has been driving force behind MATS initiatives, operations, ensuring that we continuously strive for excellence and innovation. He will now give us a brief overview about MATS and the impactful work we are doing. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Anirudh.
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible? Oh, we are back. Okay, all energized. Welcome to MATS, the InnovAtIon Gala Awards evening. I would like to now give you a brief about what MATS has been doing for the last 6 months, and also give you what is the impact that MATS has created across for the Global AI Summit, and what has it been part of in the last 6 months, what has it done. Can I have the next slide, please? So this is the MATS landscape that we have. If you see on the left hand side top, that's the life cycle of the startups, where the right from the ideation stage till the MVP stage, we have certain startups, and most of them are into MVP at math, who are looking for market access as such. On the right hand side or my left, you see the problem statements or startups looking at basic problems. The percentage of startups in each of the funding status as such. Coming down onto the left hand side, you again see the startups in various sectors that are part of the math ecosystem. As on date, to be precise, we have about 87 startups working physically from our center and about 30 odd in the accelerator programs, and as Rahul said, about 800 odd in the ecosystem as such. On the last bar chart that you see is the technology breakup that we have, which is either being developed or being worked on by different startups in our ecosystem. Okay, so what is math done for the AI Global Summit? We've been trying to speak to all the people around India, around the globe, get in as many registrations as possible, and then math has been successful in at least having about 12,000 students and developers taking part in the hackathon and in various award sessions that we have started off. And then for the investors, we have about 20 odd investors who would be part of the pitch games that we're doing on the 6th of September. So the events that math has been supporting are, the first is the InnovAtIon Gala, which is kind of a prequel for the pitch games. This event is to attract startups, get to know all the corporate leaders and the GCC leaders that are sitting here, to know what kind of startups do we have in our ecosystem and what is that these startups are looking at and what are the different ideas that they're working on. Out of all the, so we've received for the InnovAtIon Gala, we've received about 300 odd applications, out of which 130 plus were completely filled or which had a prototype product at least, to be precise, and then put it across, out of which there were 30 odd startups which got selected in different categories in different places, and we are today giving away the awards to the first prize winners. Then coming to the pitch games, post this we are conducting a small workshop on the 3rd and 4th of September, then followed by the pitch games event that is happening on the 6th. So the workshop that we are conducting, we are making sure we give these people a different approach to how they are targeting the investors and how can they target the VCs sitting down on that day. Last but not least, we have the Math Hack 2.0. The Math Hack 1.0 had been very successful. We had about 6,900 applications coming in, and then out of which 37 teams, 37 into 3 approximately, and we had about 105 or 109 people coming here and physically doing the hackathon in the same premises that we are sitting and having this event right now. After that event, Math Hack 2.0 went a little ahead. This time we had 2,600 applications, which is approximately about 10,000 odd people who have applied, out of which we would be again shortlisting top 50 teams and expecting them to come here and then go ahead with the hackathon. The first day of the hackathon, which is the 4th of September, would happen here in the hub, and the second day it would be moved to the HICC in the Global AI Summit, where we will have the top 5 or 10 teams going there and then pitching their products to the jury sitting down there. So math, when it is sent out applications on different segments that you had previously seen for the InnovAtIon Gala, for the Math Hack, for the pitch games, you see we have covered up at least 70% of the 70%. We have received applications from at least 70% of India, where except for a couple of places we haven't received any, but then rest of the places we have received all the applications here. So I mean, I think it's a big round of applause for the whole team that has been behind us. Let it be HICIA, let it be Talent Firm, Idea Labs, or 3AI for making this event successful. And nothing to it is nothing that we could do without emerging technologies and the government of Telangana, who've been really supporting us in all ways that we could make this event a very successful one. Can you move to the next one? Great, thank you.
Thank you, Anirudh, for taking us through the impactful insights. Now it's my privilege to introduce Mr. Sameer Dhandrajani, a globally recognized AI advisor and a business leader. Mr. Dhandrajani has over 25 years of experience driving AI-led strategic transformations for Fortune 500 companies, Indian corporations and startups also. His leadership roles at organizations like Fractal, Cognizant, Fidelity, and Genpact have shaped the landscape of AI and analytics. As the CEO of 3AI, he continues to influence and inspire the AI community through his thought leadership and strategic insights. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Sameer Dhandrajani.
Hi everyone. It's often said that AI is ubiquitous and omnipresent, and it's finding its way in every shape and form. Look at the word innovation. You'll find AI there as well. Transformation, you'll find AI over there. And that's exactly what our life is all about. You're finding AI today in each and every sphere of life. And thank you so much for the introduction. It's so much, I would say, revitalizing to see your picture what you looked 20 years back. And somehow it's good to kind of take all those, I would say, dated pictures and live in that kind of a, let's say, mood. First of all, kudos to Matt. Building an ecosystem in what you guys have done and accomplished in the last 1 year is not easy. And trust us, NK, me, and the 3i team can vouch for that. It takes something, and what I really call gumption, to really create that ecosystem from the scratch for a thing called AI, which is so fungible, so kind of, let's say, transformative, that the moment you're talking today something, things will change tomorrow. And this is exactly what is happening from the time GenAI has actually been unveiled. Our life, if I really call it that way, has seen on the professional and the personal side upheaval. I was talking to the high CR folks in the morning, and I keep on saying in a lighter vein, your spouses and your, I would say, kids are not coming to you today because for everything they can lean on ChatGPT. And in the office or the corporate scenario, all your subordinates, employees are actually also looking at the ChatGPT before even they're coming and meeting you. So how do you make yourself relevant is a question what you should be asking once you start having dinner today, because that's exactly what ChatGPT, GenAI, or OpenAI has done. Let me know which direction I really need to point so that it works actually. Sorry for the glitch, because this is where some of the manual things still comes into the picture. So just bear with us.
We still have an AI-driven PowerPoint.
Sorry?
We still have an AI-driven PowerPoint.
Yeah, I'll also have some avatar of mine so that I don't have to come all the way down and do that. Only for some people like Jit and Prashant, you can't have an AI avatar. Charisma is charisma, you can't take it away. Okay, whichever way it works, you can just... Well, I think one of the key, I would say, testament, I think each one of us should realize the days of the euphoria and the hype of GenAI is over. What is now really coming out, what I really call is the art of possible, and this promise to life with GenAI, which is how this whole adoption and the scenario of approach works and looks like. But if numbers are something what we really talk about, it's gone through a tumultuous change. And that change is, it's not only impacting corporates, it's impacting humanity, nations, geographies, and as you could hear today, that the biggest impact AI will bring to the table, or the Gen AI, I use that in the same continuum, is about how our jobs will actually be redefined, reskilled, or really getting remorphed and all. One of the key things, and which is what I'm very vocal about, is that if we talk about in the context of business strategy, gone are the days where you could actually make a 5-year, 3-year, 10-year annual operating plan. In fact, many of the organizations are moving away from even thinking about an annual operating plan, and they're focusing more on a real-time, I would say, basis. Now, one of the key things which has really emerged, and if you start looking at the commentaries and the narrative of the organization, Fortune 5000 or 500 or even Fortune 100, they are embedding AI strategy as the most sought after business lexicon in their operating spheres, which means depending on which side of the maturity you are, a bulldozer to the novice, or let's say an explorer, that will define how do you need to morph to the next level of either being AI enabled, if not AI first enterprise. And that's something which has been the rallying cry of many of the organizations. Now, what is also happening alongside, if you really look at this whole sphere, there is a biggest component what India is seeing today along with Gen AI, global capability centers, GCCs. 1,600 of them contributing $46 billion, almost aggregating to 1.4% of our GDP, but growing at a whopping pace where almost 1.6 million employees today will actually get into almost 3 million by 2030, almost 3,000 GCC, but numbers apart. What is more important is the kind of transformative, innovative, and what I really call the upstream work which has started happening, what was not even envisaged 5 years, 6 years back. Which is where seemingly we see a lot of changes today, how SIs, consulting, pure play analytics firms, BPM, our GCC are working in unison, because you need an ecosystem, a cohesive, integrated ecosystem to really work together. Which also means today, if we really take from a perspective of Gen AI, GCCs, there is something which is biggest change which is happening. One, you're not now measured by the POCs, you're being measured by the impact. The other story, which is getting changed very dramatically, before you start, and whatever I'm narrating today is not my, I would say, observation. This has come out with almost 1,000 odd leaders, what we have in the 3i ecosystem, the marquee eclectic leaders of data analytics AI. Some of them are sitting out here in this room as well, which is where we have aggregated the responses, really asked them, look, what's the hype? With the hype gone, what's the reality check today? And this is where some of that aggregated views is coming, that before you embark upon Gen AI journey, start measuring the cost upfront. Many of the times, in fact, organizations or the GCCs are taking those siloed experimental basis kind of a scenario and saying, look, how do we work on this? But the cost aspect of hyperscalers computing infrastructure is so important. One should really look at that. The second piece over there which is important is teams which can actually build, not just aggregate. Now there is a sea change, and I'll continue with the other set of observation as well. There is a sea change which is happening in whole talent landscape in India today. We were just discussing at the sidelines of this meeting earlier. India tech force, or the IT workforce today, is almost about 5.4 million. It's a large workforce. And if we really look at the skills, the competencies, the whole talent, I would say, lattice and the career pathways, it's changing. Even for the analytics AI folks, if you really look for the ones who've been in this industry for some time, the quintessential pathway of, let's say, data analyst, business analyst, morphing into data engineer, or the data massagers or the mediators, moving into what we say the glamorous layer of model making, algorithmic making, to visualization, output is going down. Because suddenly OpenAI, suddenly Gen AI comes in and really takes that democratization of open tools into quotients where organizations are building apps, APIs, tools, platforms on overnight basis, which also means that they are not looking for the perfect data, they are looking for the right data. And which is where my submission, as we look in whichever sphere of the work we are doing today, whether you're managing teams or you're managing kind of a workforce, the jobs of today may not be the jobs of tomorrow. At each and every aspect of the experience what we carry, a 2 years experience or a 30 years of experience, each one of us are in a mode of reskilling. We had so many conversations, multiple conversations with the analytics AI leaders who've spent 20, 25 years in the industry. Trust me, they're finding it hard to acclimatize with the changing job landscape scenario. Which also means it's again a question about challenging the status quo. Which is where, while the whole aspect of the previous work, what we have seen, engagements we have seen, AI, data science, analytics, big data, will actually change dramatically with Gen AI coming in. Now, some of the things, and I'm taking some of the approaches which are often not discussed. What are today GCCs really looking in terms of upstream engagements, the kind of, let's say, strategic viewpoints they have when they are either setting up their centers in India or they've already done it, and they're trying to kind of expand their horizon in terms of doing those transformative work? Many of them are actually looking at creating Gen AI Center of Excellence. Some of you may be still under an impression, oh, they are still doing siloed kind of POCs, or they're taking those tactical business function kind of, let's say, POCs on the sales, marketing, supply chain. No. We've understood that many of them actually are looking at building a center of excellence from a Gen AI, from grounds up. And that's an approach, if you really take as a framework, is really helping or galvanizing GCCs to go to the next level. Up next is that GCCs, as we know, are paranoid about risk, governance, compliance. So taking that into consideration, specifically the things around hallucinations, the pieces around where the algorithms needs to kind of have those vetting and the regulatory approvals. How do GCCs look at building a Gen AI risk mechanism is something which is where the new capabilities, new solutions and offerings are coming in. More important, as I mentioned, T-shaped learning or being specialist, journalist, it's about new talent, landscape, career lattice and pathways which are getting defined with Gen AI. And GCCs are taking that path at a very, very different level where they're trying to have a very different kind of a workforce. I mean, some of you are aware, we are talking about prompt engineers, AI translator, Gen AI kind of, let's say, experts, LLM developers coming into the picture, which was not foreseen just even 6 months back. So that's the kind of speed of fungibility we are talking about in the ecosystem today. If we take again an aggregated view, there is something which I keep on saying that if you take the POC's approach, rather take a POC which is a complete consolidated approach. So if we take an aggregated view from the GCCs, really some upstream POCs are being done across business function. In fact, to some of the extent what we have observed and witnessed and also heard from the GCC leaders, many of the Gen AI strategic initiatives are being driven from the boards of the organization, what they're working upon. So it's a very, very clear indication that this time the messaging and the remits are coming from the top. Just for the uninitiated, I want to take a few minutes before I wind up to talk about 3AI, and we've been a partner of, I would say, crime or glory with Matt, and thanks Rahul for kind of being a partner with us. 1,100 leaders from 975 organizations. These are the eclectic marquee data analytics AI leaders from GCCs, pure play analytics firms, PVC firms, startup, digital natives, BPM, tech, and even Indian and global enterprises. They are assessed. They are actually by invite. Second, we have 38,000 members on our platform, paid members from 32 countries. Our annual accumulative kind of, let's say, renewal rate is 82.3%. We've just been recognized as the best brands to watch out for this year by Forbes. And also, we have 3 leadership forums, Upper Crest, Thought Leader Circle, and Changemaker Circle. So depending on your experience horizon, that's where one gets slotted. Again, these are all been by invite forum, which means if you really, and this is a sample illustration, we've got most of the organizations who are doing data analytics, AI or Gen AI covered as part of their chief analytics officers, AI practitioners, chief data officers, or analytics leaders being covered as a part of our overall thought leader circle. And alongside, we also do a lot of these networking sessions. In fact, many of the time we have those networking sessions being done at T-Hub itself along with Math in terms of really discussing what's the latest topical and the art of possible in analytics and AI. These are the three large format events what we do across the year. There's one coming up, Gen AI Max, on October 18th. And these are the offerings what we have as an overall 3i nature. And a lot of these offerings are just as a conjunction of what we do. A very recent thing what we have done is we've launched, given our penetration with 410 GCC, for the first time an integrated mechanism called, or a marketplace called 3i GCC Sphere. Now what it does, if we take in one simple snapshot, with 410 GCCs, really looking at what is the kind of solutions, consulting, services, capabilities, platforms, L&D, workplace, academia, startup, ecosystem they need to leverage. There's a constant need for them to really look at what's the latest and greatest from the ecosystem. So what we are going ahead with that is we are onboarding select partners in each of these categories, making them do matchmaking with the GCCs who are really looking at those needs and really making them a part of what I call a larger ecosystem. Now that's something which is important today if you really realize that GCCs, Indian enterprises, the piece around kind of a thing, how the ecosystem will work, will really change the game, how one needs to really look at developing the larger, I would say, India as a premier destination for AI analytics. And through 3AI, Math, T-Hub, we are on an endeavor to do our limited. Thank you so much for your time. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for the enlightening keynote address. Your insights continue to pave the way of AI innovation in India and beyond. We are waiting for Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, sir, to come over. Will come up to us and he will be giving a small speech about it.
Artificial intelligence and machine learning are not just buzzwords. They're shaping our lives in ways we couldn't have imagined a decade ago. And India has the potential to be at the forefront of this technological revolution. Today, we invite you to be part of an extraordinary journey as we unveil Math, Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence Technology Hub, an ecosystem for AI and ML innovators. We are the center of excellence for AI and ML, supported by the Department of Science and Technology in T-Hub. With the vision to have AI everywhere, we empower AI and ML entrepreneurs with a comprehensive support system. Math brings you 5 distinctive offerings. Math Lab, a mini data center equipped with GPUs, offering a robust infrastructure for developing, training, and deploying AI models. Math Lake, a centralized repository designed to store and secure data, helping startups harness their data resources. Accelerator programs. These programs are designed to guide startups and transform their visions into reality. They encompass a variety of methods, such as workshops, boot camps, and masterclasses, along with peer-to-peer learning opportunities, like startup mixers and collaborative sessions among founders. InnovAtIon, a global virtual collaboration platform that provides support on mentorship, funding assistance, data resources, and market expansion opportunities for startups. Name, Nurturing AI Minds, an immersive learning management system, providing access to curated education, resources, training modules, and workshops on AI and ML technologies. Math also cultivates the next generation of AI or ML talent through the AI Career Finder, facilitating seamless connections between startups in search of top talent and candidates looking for exciting opportunities. Additionally, Math empowers startups to leverage a pool of valued partners, mentors, and investors. Math is a powerful tool for social change, bridging gaps in education, employment, community, and quality of life through sectors like healthcare, manufacturing, security, and more. Math is committed to making a significant impact at the bottom of the pyramid by creating jobs, ensuring that the benefits of AI and ML extend to the most underserved communities. Math strives to enhance accessibility, supporting innovations for today and tomorrow, and making AI solutions available. To join us on this exciting journey of innovation, visit our website at mathhub.ai and stay in touch at contact@mathhub.ai.
Among the dignitaries present here, we are honored to have us Srimati Ramadevi Lanka Ma'am, Director of Emerging Technologies for the Government of Telangana. Under her leadership, the state has made significant strides in fostering and thriving ecosystem for emerging technologies, especially in AI and machine learning. We now invite Ramadevi Garu to share her thoughts with us.
Good evening, everyone. I thought, I'll engage you for a while, maybe Jason sir and the Minister Gala comes. Well, as Rahul has said, this is the curtain raiser event for the Global AI Summit. I think this is the fourth in the sequence, It started off day before yesterday, the first curtain raiser event by ICA. Thanks to ICA for kicking off our events. And today morning we had one by Rich, and this is the third one actually. So this whole week we have several events leading to the main global summit on September 5th and 6th. So just to give you a glimpse of what we have done so far and why have we actually taken this decision to organize this global AI summit. Telangana is the first state to actually start their journey in AI journey. We have been working for more than 3+ years, and the maturity index that yes, shown in the presentation, we fall around somewhere between explorers and the trailblazers. In between, I would say. So that's where we are. We have actually worked on data, on engaging startups, developing services to startups, research and innovation, building a talent pipeline, all the pillars that are required for the AI system to grow. We have done so much in all these years, but with the advent of AI, we are now just like taken by the storm of Gen AI as to where we are now in the current landscape of AI is what we wanted to understand. So at the same time, Honorable Minister also announced, I think during a meeting with GAIS at the Infosys campus, and we are going to organize this Global AI Summit. So we wanted to understand, as I said, where we are in this AI landscape as a state. So we conceptualized this Global AI Summit since we have been working since March, I think, to identify what kind of topics we need to curate, who the speakers, and so on. And today, the entire program has come out really well, and our main objective is to understand, or from the thought leaders, from experts, from AI practitioners, whether there is a need for us to realign our policy frameworks, or what we are doing currently from the summit. So that's one of the key objectives that we are looking at. Our Principal Secretary Jason is here. So that's what we want to understand from this summit. And we're looking at about 2,000 participants, delegates for a period of 2 days, from the industry. These delegates or participants will be from the industry, from academia, from startups, and from government and foundations. So the theme is about making AI work for everyone. The reason that we have chosen the theme, and this is again the brainchild of Jayshankar Garu. He said, every now and then we see so many summits, events happening on AI. How do we differentiate ourselves? So that's when we thought we should actually focus on what is being done out there. What are the practical use cases of AI? So that's the focus of this summit. So they would be takeaways for each one of you. When I say each one of you, individuals as well as different segments of participants, for the industry, for students, for startups, for the governments. What are the use cases out there? How is the AI landscape or Gen AI landscape, unfolding, and how would it be in the near future? So different types of topics that we have are, on one hand we have very broad range of topics which talks about AI future, how it looks, the worldview of AI, the worldview of India, related to AI and so on. And on the other hand, we have very focused discussions on domains such as agriculture, healthcare, education, law, and so on. Deep dive discussions. So I welcome you all to this event, which is again on September 5th and 6th. For the industry, the registrations are still open, but there has been an overwhelming response from the student community, from the academic community, and we have actually closed those registrations already. So if any one of you haven't registered, please hurry up and do your registrations. And it is a great opportunity. This is the first of its kind. The state government is organizing in such a scale and size. So please use this opportunity. The experts are there. You can interact with the experts. It will be a good networking opportunity for all of you. So looking forward to meet you all there at the summit. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your amazing words. Now it's my absolute privilege to introduce a visionary leader and a true champion of the innovation in our state. He has been at the forefront of driving technologies, advancement, and fostering an ecosystem of growth and excellence in Telangana. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Sri Jayesh Ranjan Sir, the Special Chief Secretary of the Department of Information Technologies, Electronics and Communications, Government of Telangana. His exceptional leadership and commitment have positioned Telangana as a leader hub for technology and innovation. We are honored to have him with us, sir. Let us welcome Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening and greetings to all of you. My colleague Ramadevi already explained to you about this big ticket event which is happening here on the 5th and 6th. And I would also reiterate our invitation to all of you to register to participate. It will be a very one of its kind event to interact with so many globally renowned AI practitioners, understand what the global trends are, and also showcase what you are doing. So don't miss this opportunity. For startups, I don't know whether she mentioned this or not because I came a little late, but there is no cost at all to participate. We have made it absolutely free. So that way also, it's a matter of convenience. But the point which I wanted to make is slightly different. In fact, many of you would be aware that our government, Telangana government here, developed our AI framework in 2019, end of 2019. And 2020, the year 2020 was celebrated here as the year of AI. 2020, many of you would recall, was a very difficult year. The pandemic, lockdowns, total chaos everywhere, lots of lives being lost, unfortunately. But despite all this chaos around us, we were reasonably successful. Whatever we had planned for the year, see, as you would know, as you would recall, this pandemic started only in March, but the year of AI began precisely on 1st January. And we had not anticipated that this pandemic would happen. So there was a plan for doing various kinds of activities throughout the year. But despite all the challenges and difficulties, I'm happy to share that almost 80% of what we had planned, we were able to deliver. And of course, when you say that this year is the year of AI, it doesn't mean that precisely on 31st December everything stops and then you move on. I mean, that was just the start, so to say. And subsequently, 21, 22, 23, now, and later, surely, many other things will be happening. So, in 2019, when we prepared the AI framework, one important component which we recognized was innovation. See, the world over, this is the experience. Even major platforms, major models, they are all coming from young entrepreneurs like you, from innovators like you. So, while large corporations are also doing their bit, the large tech companies, large corporations, but eventually the more transformative, the more path-breaking kind of work is happening from entrepreneurs and innovators like you. So, in 2019 also in our framework, a major component on how do we support innovation to happen more and more in Hyderabad and in Telangana, that was spelled out very explicitly, and we subsequently took lots of steps. In fact, some of you might be aware, with the help of NASCOM, we established a program which is called REVA, and in the last 4 years, 5 years actually, or 4 years, I would imagine, we have been able to support 142 AI startups. And when I mentioned this elsewhere, that in Telangana we run a program called Gala, the belief is that the doors are closed to people outside Telangana, but that is not the reality. Of the 142 whom we have supported under REVA, just about 30 or 35 possibly are from Telangana. Everyone else is from outside. So the doors are open for everyone. And these are, of course, we take startups who have an MVP and beyond. Some of them are pre-revenue, but there are some who are also making an annual revenue of $2 to $3 million also. And the experience of these cohorts who have participated in the REVA program is, I mean, it's very, very positive. I've interacted with them either during their valedictory ceremony, or some of them have met me bilaterally. And I feel very proud to see the kind of work they are doing. Of course, their valuations have gone up, they have received more and more funding, but more than that, the kind of social impact they are creating, the problems they are solving, the recognition they are getting. As you would know, India was the host G20 country. So in G20 also there is a innovation track. I forget the name of that track. There is a term for that. So last year there was an innovation contest amongst all the G20 countries, and as you would know, G20 countries include some of the most advanced countries of the world. And two of our RevUp startups actually won prizes, top prizes in that innovation event which happened in Indonesia. So this particular spectrum has taken off well. Subsequently, last year, as some of you would also know, the national government also announced its AI mission, India AI mission, and they announced 7 pillars of the AI mission. Our framework, which precedes the India AI mission by almost 3 years, also spoke of the same kind of government responsibilities, the same kind of focus areas which the India AI mission brought out. So I'm not suggesting that India AI mission copied what we did, but there's a very strong similarity, which is more than coincidental. So, but regardless of that, India AI mission also focuses on supporting innovation, and again, it's a nice coincidence that I'm interacting with all of you here, because just 2 days ago, there was a very high-power roundtable discussion in Delhi, organized by the India AI mission, on how do we help AI startups in improving their scale, in kind of doing things more efficiently, the ease of innovation, as was called in that roundtable. The Honorable Minister of State, Mr. Jitin Prasad, he was there, the Union Secretary was there. There was only one state which was invited to that roundtable, which was myself, and which was our state of Telangana, because of the work that we have done, and we made lots of important points. So the kind of sum and substance of what was discussed there was that while states claim that data is available, data is the oil, but still the ease through which data is made available to startups, the cleansing of that data, making that data usable, ensuring that all the transparencies and ethics and privacy issues are taken care of at a macro level, and each startup is not struggling with all these kind of things. That is still far from reality. We are speaking about it, but very little of that is happening on the ground. In terms of compute capacity also, while India AI mission has announced major funding support for compute, but very little of that is happening in the ground. Companies, young startups still find it very difficult to pay for costly compute capacity. And these are some of the challenges which were spoken about. Also, how do you procure solutions from AI startups, even if it is very obvious that the solution will mean a lot to the government, to some of the departments of the governments. How do you do a procurement which is not following the conventional procurement norms of calling for bids and then making a startup compete with some large company and you are completely kind of overpowered in that bidding process, etc., etc. So many of these challenges, and people were speaking about them. I noticed, and I spoke about it also, that we have already found solutions to many of these in our state of Telangana. So in terms of compute capacity, for the rev-up cohorts, we have an arrangement with CDAC that 1,000 hours of A100 usage is made available completely free of cost. You don't have to pay for it. We have already paid for it as the government. And beyond 1,000 hours also, you still require to use for the concessional tariff sets. Much before any other state we had started, even when AI was not globally understood, people have not really recognized its potential to solve some of the most intractable problems that have existed for centuries. We had set up an open data portal. We were the first state, technically the second state. The first state was Sikkim, but Sikkim, as you all know, is not a mainstream state. The first real mainstream state to set up its own open data policy was us. And I feel again very proud to share with you that more than 300 plus data sets are available, and many startups from our lab and other AI startups who are part of TIHA, part of MAT and elsewhere have made use of that data sets. Lots of mobility data sets are there. You may be aware there's a nationally recognized and multiple award-winning solution which is called iRaste, which has been done in IIIT with Intel as one of the major tech providers. They have used that data set very, very commonly. Of course, I'm not claiming that the need for data that the startups expect is 100% met in Telangana. I'm not making false claims. We also have a long way to go, but at least we are somewhere in other states and also at the federal level. There is nothing which is happening. One of the other issues which the startups over there and the VCs also over there they spoke about is that not much of there is no receiving mechanism in the government. Well, MATI is there, but in the other departments there is not much which actually receives what we have to offer, and there is no support, so to say. So it's a tough battle to navigate through the departmental systems and procedures and pitch our solution or position our solution as something which will be of use to the department. So again, in Telangana we have solved that issue. There is a single clearing house which is called TAIM, Telangana Artificial Intelligence Mission. Of course, Ramadevi is a part of TAIM. She is one of the key pillars of TAIM. So she and her team takes that responsibility of ensuring that the relevant department, government agency which has to onboard that solution. So they do that kind of hard work instead of asking the startup to do the manual work. I feel very proud to share this with you. In the last 3 years, 60 plus solutions, AI solutions, have been onboarded in various, not 60, 30 or 30 odd solutions have been onboarded in different government agencies, different government programs, from largely from RevUp cohort, but also from others who are located in, who are incubated or accelerated within Telangana. Because that is a policy that we have, that if you have a solution which is of relevance to the government, we will procure it bilaterally. There will be no procurement process. In fact, when I mentioned this, the Union Minister of State who was there, really appreciated so many other things which people were saying, but he noticed this point and he mentioned that this is very courageous and very bold of Telangana government to introduce a policy like that, and which has completely done away with procurement process, because government procurement processes typically are very complicated. Even to procure a very small poultry kind of solution, you have to participate in the bidding process. It's a lengthy process. Some of it is very opaque. And there's no special protection given to a young entrepreneur or a young startup. So In Telangana, instead of relaxing or tweaking or changing or modifying, we have completely removed that process. No process at all. You can bilaterally procure your solution if it is of relevance. And most of these 30-odd solutions that we have come through that kind of a bilateral process. So this is of course some substance of what has been the way national government and states across the country are thinking about promoting AI startups. As I said, we are far ahead of everyone else, and the good results are visible for everyone. We want the Global AI Summit to give a further push to the great work which is happening in Hyderabad now. While we do have TAIM, as I spoke about, but there is a very good platform within T-Hub, which is called Math, who are hosting this event, and they are, you have completed about a year, isn't it? How much time have you completed? 1 year?
6 months.
Yeah, so they're a decent vintage. But within these 6 to 8 months, their accomplishments are indeed very, very praiseworthy. I've interacted with some of the math startups also, and the levels of creativity and the application of AI technology is indeed very sophisticated, and I'm very confident that much more good work is yet to come. I'm not really worried about whether you become a unicorn or you become your valuation is this, or you go up to Series G or Series F, and all that is nice to read, but what interests me more and really makes my heart feel very, very glad is what kind of solutions you are bringing. Are these solutions solving some problems which at some point in time were considered unsolvable, intractable? In fact, many years ago, I was a student in Harvard. I did a course which was titled Possible Solutions to Intractable Problems of South Asia. In those days, there was no AI, of course. I won't say there was no technology. There was no AI for sure. But today, I'm sure these kind of courses will not be taught at Harvard, because everything possibly has a solution. And people sitting in this all themselves have the capacity to bring solutions to some of those problems. So, I'm happy that today we are also recognizing the best performing AI startups. There are awards to be given. I will be giving some awards, I guess. So it will be a matter of honor for me also to hand over some awards. But nevertheless, congratulations to everyone who has participated, who is working on this journey, and we are determined in Telangana on behalf of the government to make your journey smoother and to give you whatever push you require for you to really reach the stars. Thank you and best wishes once again.
I request you to please stay back on the dais to begin the award felicitation. Good evening, everyone. I am Srinidhi. I am from Math team. Today, let's get into the highlight of this evening. Let's dive into the InnovAtIon Gala Awards 2024 organized by Math. This is one event that is showcasing the AI innovations from across our nation. We are here to celebrate early adopters of AI solutions and applaud their efforts to lead the next wave of technological advancements in India and beyond. Let us get into the categories. So we have 15 award categories for which we have selected startups for. Before we begin, I just want to congratulate Matt's team for organizing and making this event such a huge success. As you have seen, Anirudh was explaining the huge, tremendous response that we have received, the high volume of registrations from so many startups across the nation, covering 70% of Pan-India, and literally the team managing everything, bringing forward esteemed jury members who are part of the audience today, who have scrutinized all these startups on various impact verticals and judging them on these 15 categories and giving them these awards, whichever have had the maximum impact. So beginning today with our first award, we have AI for Manufacturing Excellence Award. And we have top innovators in this award who are shortlisted. They are Perceptine and New AI. The award goes to Perceptime. I request Mr. Jaguraju, Raviteja and Mrityunjay to come onto the dais and collect the award. Perceptime develops a full-stack AI robotics platform that automates complex and dexterous tasks. Its cutting-edge technology enhances manufacturing efficiency and precision. Next up, we have AI for Agriculture Advancement Award. Our top innovators who were shortlisted in this category are Trust O1 and Kupi Smart Solutions. The award goes to Trust O1, founder Mr. Prabhir Mishra. I request Mr. Impan, Hedge and Prateek to receive this award on his behalf. Trust O1 leverages blockchain and AI to enhance sustainability with products like Trust O1 Chain, Footprint, DMR. These solutions integrate economic and environmental data, improving transparency and efficiency in agriculture. Thank you. We have the next award, AI for Water Conservation Award. Our winner and shortlist as well as the winner we have is Andromeda, founder Mr. Siddharth Bajpai and his colleague Mr. Thomas. Both of them will be receiving the award. Andromeda has developed a pool buddy, an underwater robot with patented disinfection technology which maintains healthy and hygienic swimming pools. Its innovative approach to pool sanitation aligns with water conservation goals by ensuring efficient use and management of pool water. Can we have a loud round of applause for our winners, please? Thank you. The next award we have is AI for Energy Solution Award. This award is won by Onus Cryogenics, founder Mr. Ram K. Aluru and Vikram. Both of them will be receiving the award. I request you to come onto the stage. Onus Cryogenics develops AI-powered cryogenic propellant tank technology and cooling systems for space, aviation, ground and maritime sectors. Please, let's have a loud applause for our winners. Next is a very special award. The award is Women AI Entrepreneur Award. Okay, there has been a small glitch, but the next award. Okay. Apologies. The award we're going for is AI Innovation in FinTech Award. The shortlisted startups for this are On Finance AI, Fleek, and Pushpak AI. Our winner is On Finance AI with Anuj Srivastava as its founder. I request Mr. Ashutosh to come onto the dais and receive the award on his behalf. On Finance AI is a vertical foundational LLM tailored for finance and banking, offering advanced analytics, predictive insights, and automating financial decision making. So the next award is the Women AI Entrepreneur Award. This award is won by DevZiri. The top shortlisted startups were DevZiri, VoiceOwl, and PredictML. Since the female co-founder is unavailable tonight, we have her mother, Miss Jaya, to receive the award, and her co-founder, Mr. Nitish, as well. I welcome both of them onto the dais. DevSeries AI agent, led by its visionary female co-founder, offers a single-click end-to-end API regression testing solution that outperforms manual and traditional automation testing. Let's have a loud applause for the winners. Thank you, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, for coming here and felicitating the winners and also briefing us on the initiatives our government is taking to support AI startups and to support the next AI revolution in our country. Meghna will be taking over for the rest of the event.
Now we are excited to present a dynamic panel discussion on the topic, Unleashing the New Core of Innovation and Transformation in GCC's Strategic Perspectives. This insightful session will explore an evolving landscape of global capability centers and the strategic shifts that are driving innovations and transformation in the sector. This panel promises to deliver strategic insights and actionable perspectives on how GCC can harness innovation to drive transformation and create sustainable growth. This panel is moderated by Mr. Jitendra Chakravarti, Executive Vice President and Global Head of Data Analytics and AI in LTI Mindtree. I request Mr. Jitendra to come on to the dais and take the panel ahead.
Good evening. Thank you so much for taking my request, my co-panelists to join on the stage. I know chairs are obstructing, but Steve, Jiten, Ruzalani, Giri, and Charan, please join. Sequences like
Good evening all, thank you so much once again. We heard this evening the purpose of this event. It's my honor to moderate this session, particularly talking about what's happening in the AI world, what's happening in the Gen AI, and as we go to the 5th and 6th Global AI Summit, how GCCs are shaping. I'm not going to talk about all the statistics, but I'm sure all of you must be following. In last 12 to 18 months, GCCs are doing strong, though it exists in the last 20 to 30 years. The amount of innovation that's happening, the amount of transformation happening, and the growth, and 1,600 GCCs becoming hundreds and hundreds more coming up. So we thought it's appropriate for us to talk through this journey and get a perspective from the senior leaders from the GCC, and also the people who are supporting the GCC, directly or indirectly, part of this exercise. We all know originally the GCCs are started particularly for a cost efficiency model, a scale kind of a model. But today, I must say the GCC word itself started with the capability center innovation. And now we are talking about how they can be AI powerhouses, and eventually they can probably do a reverse innovation. Maybe build an innovation from India GCCs which can go back to parent. But I think there is a lot of people mind, is this real? Is it skeptical in what's happening in this part of the world? So maybe we'll take few questions which we call curated part of this exercise and hear from them what they are seeing in this journey. So maybe let me start with, to understand. I think there is always this famous saying about what got us here is not going to take us there. The AI transformation in some aspect, people talk about, we have done multiple transformations in the past as a journey. Is it sufficient? Are we prepared for the transformation we're talking about? What's happening in the GCC world? How GCCs are thinking about transformation, innovation? Maybe Jitin, if I could get your perspectives to start with.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jit. I think fundamentally GCCs have started decades ago now, and the kind of value, the kind of transformation we are becoming so used to about it, I feel one of the strengths we have in GCCs are scalable. If you think how we started versus where we are, that scalability took us here where we are right now. And I felt that transformation is no longer a new word for us at all. I think we are absolutely ready for a new wave of AI. In fact, we are, some of the GCCs I know which have been working, I actually typically break down GCCs into three parts. One are the one which started like long time back, some one which are in the middle, and the third one are the new one, which is like last 2 to 3 years they've entered in this space. One thing which is common across of them is AI. They all are ready, all good to pick up what they can deliver from this AI world. So that's my take. I think readiness is absolutely there. I think this bullet train, this storm which is coming, I think we're all set to jump and start delivering new and new solutions from global standpoint, not from India standpoint. Thank you.
Yeah, and maybe Giri, if you could give your perspective on what you are seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. What's really happened, I represent a GCC which was first wave GCC started in Hyderabad 30 years ago. And the last 12 months I've been with a very new GCC which is just started. And it's very interesting that I agree with that AI is common. GCCs are almost trying to productize their service using AI or even automation for that matter. So what do we mean by that? Which means a lot of the world today wants to get things fast and faster. And we saw some of these awardees also trying to disrupt how can you deliver a service. But how can you deliver a service as if it's a commodity? And this is what the change in the operating model and the shift is. The big focus which I am seeing when I'm moving from the old world GCCs to the latest ones is how do we quicken this operating model transformation? And I think AI is at the heart of it. What I mean by that is every model which used to deliver a service to the customer has to incorporate some level of advanced tech. And whether it's what we call it as ChatGPT versus maybe something like visual OCRs, as simple as that, has to work today. Without that, it's just not possible to deliver a service. Is it there? How much of it is there is the big question.
Thank you, Gala. So maybe Steve, if I can come to you to pick your brain in terms of, again, if I may say, you're probably one of the new GCC which is starting in Hyderabad very recently. But you are in the field of data science, AI, and building something for your parent organization for a very, very long time. In terms of understanding this new big wave of Gen AI, we're talking about transformation of many business functions. We have seen in Sameer's slide talking about IT, supply chain, HR, and many, many things we're talking about. How is this opening up in terms of the new ways of metrics, new frameworks, and new ways of doing things? I mean, maybe if you can give some color about what is that you're seeing in your GCC to start with, and how do you look to leverage this for your organization? I'm sure that you have the audience as well.
Yeah, thank you. Hi everyone. I'm Steve Fox. I've been working on our GCC for a little under a year. So it's a privilege to be here tonight. So if you look back to where BMS journey started, it was really a story about bringing the T back to IT. So we primarily outsourced most of our technology skill sets from IT through to data science. And I think there was a real recognition that in the age of AI, you needed to bring those talents in-house. So that really was a big driver for getting our journey started. And the thinking there is you really need those in-house builders. It's going to be very hard to do this with managed services, just given that there really aren't very good off-the-shelf software solutions today in this space. companies really need to build that ability to build their own products. So our journey really has begun at a key first step in building this AI capabilities in hiring. So hiring the right skill sets from software engineers through to data scientists. I think the second big step that we're taking on this journey in bringing AI transformation into the company is really thinking about the ways of working between the various teams that you need to deliver these solutions. So if you look back 10 years, BMS started out an analytics team and really coexisted with IT for a long time as really separate functions. And I think there's now a recognition with AI that you really need to bring in much closer proximity the teams that manage your apps and your data with those that do the analytics and insights. So we're really sort of accelerating that through the GCC by both changing the structure of the organization, so putting those two functions under a single leader, and then really for the first time in probably decades, having a critical mass of in-house talent of both IT professionals, so software engineers, through to analytical engineers and data scientists. So really to change that clock speed of how quickly we're able to then develop AI solutions. And then I would say, finally, the third thing that we're really trying to be intentional about as a next step here in the AI transformation is what I'll call the operating model of how we interact with business stakeholders, the teams that we're building these solutions for. What I've seen is, every month you see a drop-off in the number of AI skeptics. You see this tremendous appetite for proofs of concept. So there's really no shortage of those. And I think we as a company are at that tipping point where we need to be very careful about that balance between the enthusiasm and the POCs that are floating out there and our ability to actually truly drive change in business processes. And that's where I think through the GCC we're looking at how we better embed these teams with the business functions to think through sort of that re-engineering of business processes.
I think thanks for the comprehensive answer. I think it gives comfort to the people. There is a method and a structure, and AI is becoming a strategy, as well as as you think about new frameworks and how do you operate internally, and how do you get these pieces into much more faster action. Thanks for those perspectives. So maybe if I probably pass the mic to Roger, and if I could ask you. See, we spoke about AI, and often, many times, as soon as we use the word AI, people think about technology and immediately talking about I already downloaded something, or I have an access to data, and often we discuss quickly about technology. But I think if I hear a little bit from Steve, it's in addition to technology, you need to start thinking about how do you organization model, how do you start putting frameworks, and most importantly, I would like to hear perspective. You've been in this field, and also, as Samir talked about, risk product analysis is one of the fundamental things that GCCs to talk about. Are the leadership within the current GCCs, or what you're looking at, are they ready? If they are ready, what are the attributes, and how are you thinking about building the leadership pipeline to take this AI journey with the aspiration GCCs have? Any perspective from you?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. I'm part of the Signal GAIS Services, and in Hyderabad we are known as the Evernorth GAIS Services, which also goes by Hyderabad Innovation Hub. I think we've heard this phrase so often that culture eats strategy for breakfast. But are we ready for the AI culture to be set up? So how do we set up the AI culture, right? So I think we have to start right from the top, where the leadership, sets the tone. How are we setting up the governance framework for AI? How are we looking at creating a culture of innovation right from top? How is it reaching the grassroots? How are we able to involve all the employees right, from the juniors to the mid-level to the senior folks? So how are we going to do that, right? I think it starts with hiring the right leaders who bring in a lot of passion, who bring in a lot of ethics, that human element, who want to drive culture, who want to drive innovation, right? And something is a strong collaborator who's going to bring in everybody together. So we want a leader who sets the tone at the top, and how that person is able to involve everybody at the ground level is what is going to drive
actually the AI, you know, it to the next level. So I feel that AI culture, how the leader brings in trust, accountability, safety, ethics. Do we have the framework from a regulatory perspective, right? So I would focus on setting up our AI theory, governance, right, which takes care of all the aspects there. And especially we being a healthcare, the ethics and the human aspect is so important. We cannot overlook that, right? So everything has to be done keeping the patient centricity at the highest level, right? So I think that's my view on this.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think you touched on the most important point, which we're going to talk about responsible AI, sustainable AI, and ethics play a major role. And I'm sure as individuals, when we think about our own healthcare, I think we want to be very paranoid about how this data is getting used. Thanks for those perspectives. As people build startups and people get into the career of AI, it's very important. Maybe if I come to you, Charan, I think before a lot of people, sometimes these days people think about AI means Gen AI because it's only opened up 2 years back. And folks like you have actually been helping the industry for the last maybe 10, 12, whatever years. How do you see this? Because there is the few minutes back we heard there is a 5.5 million professionals already in the industry. Every year, I believe 500,000 software engineers join the mainstream. What is that your organization thinking about how you see this particular thing will take us where we want to be?
Thanks, Vita, and wonderful to be here. Yeah, so I run Praxis Business School and Praxis Tech School, and we started the first analytics program way back in 2011. We literally paid students to join us because nobody was aware of that as something that could get them a career. But of course things have changed dramatically. And if I look at what we taught in the one-year program in 2011 and what we teach now, it's very different. I mean, obviously the whole thing has changed. But I think that if I look at the GCC piece, I mean, the whole premise on which GCCs were set up and evolved is the fact that there is availability of capable and diverse talent at competitive cost, right? So if we have to take the leap, if GCCs have to take the next leap forward, as what you said at the start of the conversation, I mean, talent has to be the key critical component again. So I think that if one of the things that need to be managed, right? Technology is one thing, culture is one. I think all of it is, kind of the pivot is, the pillar is going to be talent. So there are what I have seen is that these are buzzwords for students, AI, data science, and all. And when we interview people who say that they left math in class 12 because they were not good at it, but they want to get into data science, right? So everybody wants a piece of it, but everybody is not really there. I think that from a GCC perspective, how do you look at talent, right? There are several ways. You can hire talent laterally. You can form associations, deep associations with academia. You can do some branding at campuses and hire from there. And those long-term associations pay off in long term, actually, right? And there has to be a mix of that because laterals are really expensive always, right? And then what do you look for? So I think that we talk about skills and reskilling. With so much of automation happening, and I think Samir touched on it when he said that so many of the jobs are going to be, so many of those model builders are not going to be required. So I think we have to go beyond skills into what I call capabilities, right? So I think over and above technology skills, right, you have to have things like critical thinking, things like adaptability, resilience, creative thinking, and I think that when you are hiring talent or when you are training talent, I think these things are going to be very, very important in the long term. I mean, we were thinking of this when we were sitting around at Praxis that how do we incentivize somebody to learn? Because
I mean, we tell our students that the moment you graduate out of praxis, 30% of the things that you have learned are going to change by the time you join, right? And the industry, we get the wrong end of the industry also. They ask for industry-ready people. Okay, there's nothing, but it's a myth because every company wants different kinds of people. So there's no one industry, right? So we have to, which is why we are also now saying that, let us strengthen fundamentals of, are you a good learner? Can you think in a structured way? Can you be a critical thinker? Are you good with math? Are you good at problem solving? And I think these are the things that I think, this is how I think talent has to be managed in GCCs, as they go forward. I think that's my view.
Well, thank you, Chairman. I think it's music to us for many people as we talk about industry ready. I could see a lot of smiles coming around all there. Maybe if I can extend the conversation a little bit more, just to make audience more interesting. We talked about GenAI, you heard about all the stories about Hyderabad, about startup ecosystems, a lot of incubation happening, and within this we have, I'm sure you have got some time back. There's lots of exciting stuff happening. In your capacity, as you see the industry which you are in, the pharmaceutical life sciences industry, what are the new set of solutions for the existing problem you see as an opportunity with AI engineering, which probably being in the industry for long enough, you thought about it's very cumbersome, very time consuming. Probably, I wish I have this sometime back. So maybe any examples you might do that actually help us to understand why is this here, why everything is going behind it, and even some skeptics in this room, and even outside of it as it's getting live, will change their perspective how you need to work.
Sure, yeah, I think that's a great question. And I would say, pharmaceuticals historically have been, it's been a laggard in terms of adapting technology and analytics. I would say with sort of the recent advances in AI, we're now starting to see a little acceleration of adoption at BMS. And the big areas of impact, and it's not an area I work in, I'm more in the manufacturing side, is really that drug discovery part of the value chain. So we're now starting to see molecules that are fully sort of, that first initial part, the early discovery is fully in silico. I think BMS, we now do for our small molecule portfolio, so those drugs that are chemically synthesized, 100% of the initial screening is in silico as we look at assays and whatnot. So this is really driving great efficiencies in the drug discovery process. If you look at where there's a lot of cost in drug development, it's really the clinical trials. So that space is an incredibly expensive part for drug developers. It's hard to set them up, it's hard to get the enrollments you need, etc. It has a ton of documentation associated with it. So we're now starting to have a lot of solutions that are generating these documents for our clinical teams based on templates. A lot of that now is becoming fully automated too, so driving big, not just cost savings, but really speeding up that part of the development process. Then finally, if you look at the area I work in, so one example that we've recently deployed on our team is in the quality space. Pharmaceuticals very heavily regulated. If something goes wrong in manufacturing, you need to generate these deviations, which are documents that explain what went wrong. We obviously have a huge repository of these from our history. And now we're launching deviation writing assistance to get the engineers and scientists who work in the factories a huge jump start on writing these documents that can typically take days, if not weeks, to process and close. So we're now using Gen AI and testing those for our most simple deviations with the intent to move up that value chain. So very much here and now and being used broadly in BMS.
Yeah, that's comforting, particularly these days everyone is worried about what kind of new big waves are coming. I hope pharma is ready using GenAI to support all of us in our lives. Thank you so much, Mr. So maybe just out of the script, coming back to you, they're not part of the version we incubate question, but there is a lot of statistics talking about 80%, more than 80% of the AI engineers, more than 80% of papers submitted in AI, etc., etc. Everything is completely
dominated by male, and women leaders is not enough in AI. And I'm not going to talk about all the statistics, but unfortunately, I think even the distribution here. In your opinion, if AI is a level playing field, because obviously AI for the first time we're talking about an equal opportunity for people. In your opinion, your personal capacity as a professional capacity, what do you think industry should start thinking and doing about it? And even something, if you are doing your organization, what should that be for our
If you look at it, it's also a personal interest of a lot of women how they want to pick up this area and how they want to go about building their career in this space. Also, how this can be driven from the top is that we have special courses or special training for women leaders and encourage them right from the mid-senior level management level, give them a lot of responsibilities, ask them to take up some functions which they are able to drive on their own, create some POCs where they are able to get that confidence, show that success. I think it's also bringing them onto the leadership forums where they are held accountable, where they are given that visibility, and also giving them that confidence that they are as good as the men, right? So I think it has to just be driven from right from the top, and also I think women have to show that interest and the liking to be in that space. I think that's important.
Thank you so much. I think as we go through AI, diversity has many facets to that. Obviously, diversity, and even somebody was talking about AI itself has to be diverse with a different set of data which should be available, different models, different genders, etc. etc. I hope as we build this AI, whether it's startups as you say, launches probably thanks for those work. Maybe Jiten, I can come to you. In terms of understanding, there is a lot of these things people are worried about. What are the new set of jobs in these companies, right? I think Samir touched upon a little bit about the most abused or used prompt engineers, who many other pieces. But what are you thinking about existing set of employees? What are the set of things which may continue to remain? Versus what are the set of things probably we need to start looking differently as we go through this journey? Any perspectives from you?
So I can share a few things around. I think fundamentally, I think we all need to really understand we're talking about augmenting of human resource with AI. I think AI is not a science fiction sci-fi movie where science has taken over humans and humans are like living a life where they're trying to fight with them. I don't think that's the picture. I can't foresee that. I don't think it's happening at all. Those are all fiction. I think fundamentally, if you think about it, AI is going to enhance everything what we do in our daily life. And I give you a very simple, basic example. I'm sure many of you must be using Copilot. Microsoft is part of all our jobs every day. Fundamental, basic thing, I'm doing a team meeting of 30 minutes. I do not have to write minutes of meeting. That's how they are impacting us. I do 6 meetings in a day. Copilot generates my minutes of meeting. Now, does that mean a human who is doing that minutes of meeting is going away? No, of course not. End of the day, this AI is going to create a minutes of meeting as per the data, as per the understanding. You need to really create a context which only comes from your brain. You can't remove that. So my fundamental one point is that AI is there to enable and make sure we are doing things faster, better, efficient, solving world problem. I think Ranjit was talking about it, how some of the problems 10 years ago we can't even imagine to solve, we are solving it. I think that's the way I would say we should look into it. I think the other thing I also really want from the talent standpoint, I think the new generation, which is coming now, I think they are probably better prepared than the mid and the senior leaders who have been in the industry for 25 years. And I think when we talk about 5.5 million people right now from a tech landscape, I think it is very important that the mid management and the senior management, they need to get enabled with AI skills as well. I think the generation, I am very confident when I talk to them, they are like way ahead of many of us right now. So that's my 2 points.
I totally agree with that. There is recent research done by a consulting company, interviewed 6,500 people across the globe. I think it's consistent. Junior and middle management teams are absolutely ready with this Gen AI versus the senior management is not ready. So I think it resonates what you're talking about. So maybe, Giri, if I can come to you, are there any personal examples and the examples where you're seeing the positive side of this year for you in your personal life? Of course, there are some scary sides of the story people talking about, but we'll come to that later. But any positive sides of things you're seeing in your life?
No, absolutely. Any chartered accountants in the group? Nobody. Thank God for that. So if you're a CA, one of the dreaded things you have to do is tie up what we call as the notes to the numbers. And this is standard. It's 3 days of work. So in the organization I work in, we reduce that to 20 minutes, which means you don't have to do the work. Now, you know who's most happy about it? Is the young intern. Because they don't want to do. This is a grunt work. The partner would never see it. The manager doesn't care about it. But if you get it wrong, all hell. So we have a product called Profen PAM for short, which basically reduces this because we took the most painful part of the work, which youngsters don't want to do, what we call as the grunt work, and gave it to them. So this is a very vital area I am particularly passionate about. Is when I meet young folks, and I saw a lot of them on the stage receiving awards, solve problems which takes the pain out of learning. I think I really agree with coming industry ready. Industry ready is that there is a huge hump of pain which you learn about a particular industry when you get in, from your college or whatever you study. I think AI is a great example there. Back in the organization that I used to work, which is First American, we used to ask them to learn complex underwriting work, but we gave them a lot of tools and said, okay, here is AI as your body. So I think this is a huge opportunity, and I address this house with T-Hub and 3AI, of course, at the forefront of it is we really have to target learning at the beginning, first to 3 year people. It's not just the people who are looking for a job, it's the people who need to use AI as a companion to learn. Because we don't want everybody to remember everything, it's just absolutely useless. So this is something I will share. I'm very happy because I'm very, very, what can I say, almost of how quickly youngsters, if I gave somebody, again, no chartered accountant, but we used to have a book called Singania, which is taxation, this big. If I gave it to somebody, they'll throw it back to me. If I gave Singania an iPad and a co-pilot, it's heaven. So think about it, this I think is a huge opportunity, a lot of opportunities with startups, with supporting learning for GCCs at this point.
Yeah, thank you. I think it sounds music to at least the youngsters who never really didn't want to do the grunt work even in the organizations. I mean, you gave one example, but I'm sure if the organization has a similar grunt work as they go through to learn, I don't think it's required. Maybe, Jeremy, you talked about, you have a technical school and you have a business school. I think one of the things these days, I'm sure many people have asked many questions, but probably I have to go on which I keep hearing from people. If everything is going to be done by AI, we don't need to remember the syntax, programs will be done automatically done by generic, this is done by that generic. What should I learn when I come to CAST and upskilling, what should I learn when I go to college? I mean, how do you think about it? So any perspectives for you?
Yeah, so this is something that I thought I would learn from others because I really need that. But anyway, and just coming back to the grunt work, for professors, the grunt work is assessing 180 copies. With some answers, when you start wondering what was the question, right? so anyway, so we need to use AI. If anybody gives us a solution to that. Yeah, so coming back to your question. Yeah, so we really think about that. So what we do is communications class, we first get the class to write an email on their own. Then we ask them to charge their mobile phones and use ChatGPT to write the same email. Then to see what is missing in the ChatGPT email, because the context, as you were saying, would be missing to some extent. It will not be as personal, right? So we have to showcase the difference between ChatGPT or LLM or AI-driven work and personal work. And I sometimes feel that it's a little dangerous if we let AI do everything, because our cognitive minds have to mature as well. I mean, they have to learn to think ground up, right? So, I mean, as a small business venture, we have physical chips today because so much of physical automation happened. They were lift, they were cars and all of that. And so people did not require gyms earlier because they were getting their exercise in the fields or whatever. And so tomorrow maybe there will be a business venture where people would actually come in, and I think parents would probably send their kids to. Because if Gen AI gets into school, today I hear parents are using ChatGPT to finish off assignments of their children so that they can watch Netflix. But I am concerned about those children as to how do they learn how to think, start ground up. Look at it. So if we want to create problem solvers, and if we want to create people who can complement AI effectively, I think we have to make them learn how to think and learn how to learn. And I think that's where the whole challenge is.
I just want to, because my son has joined an undergrad in India, and it's a new age college, and last week I was talking to him, what are your foundation 4 subjects you have taken? And he's doing a bachelor's in computer science, and I was totally taken aback when he told me this subjects. And I said, really? One was great books, second was mind and behavior, third was economics and political science, and fourth was calculus. I said, you are going to be a computer science guy 4 years down the line, and this is what they're starting you from. While I was surprised, I was super impressed. What they are teaching here is what we just said, how to solve a problem. I think the technology is going to evolve in such a way where the code writing can happen quickly. I think it's the critical thinking, the problem solving, that's the skill we need to build to make sure we are ready for this future generation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving those perspectives, Charan and Jiten. As we probably conclude this session, I first must admit that what we heard from last one of the session about innovation that's coming from startup, and which is an opportunity for GCCs to actually tap into, and the excitement that's coming from the young generation to really take it forward, and also how we need to build this responsible AI as we go through, and how do we avoid the negativity that's coming from the deep fakes or many other things happening. How do we build an ecosystem, and how do we make sure quality enough excitement that's happening in the GCCs is a good example for the people to start thinking about, and I'm sure that there are several key takeaways in this journey. I'm not going to repeat all of them what you said in the last 40 minutes. I must say thank you so much. It's wonderful to host all of you. It's been nice to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would request all the panel speakers to stay on the dais. And I would request Mr. Sujit Jagirdar sir, CIO of T-Hub, to come on to the dais and felicitate the panel speakers.
Absolutely. Thank you. One each. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Thank you for the wonderful panel discussion. We had so many insights and lots to go back home and think about. So let us resume with the next set of awards. I would like to welcome. Okay, let's just wait for 2 minutes. I would like to welcome Jayesh Ranjan Garu onto the dais to resume felicitating the rest of the winners.
How many?
We have
6, I would imagine.
around 7. Alright, let's begin with the next round of felicitation. We have AI in SAS Award. We have our top shortlisted candidates, which are Higher Plus Plus, Biva AI, and Counselor by Nostradamus Technologies. The winner is Higher Plus Plus. I request Mr. Piyush Raj, Shravan Akhil, Shobhit Prakash to come onto the dais and receive the award. Higher Plus Plus Tech revolutionizes hiring with its AI Copilot, seamlessly enhancing candidate sourcing, evaluation, and engagement. Can we have a loud applause for the winning team? Next, we have the Youngest AI Entrepreneur Award. Our top innovators in this category are Setvi, Sunrise Mitra, and Kupi Smart Solutions. The winner is Setvi Global. Mr. Vaibhav Ram is the founder. He is the youngest founder, just 22 years old, building Setvi to integrate existing medical imaging equipment to deliver precise real-time analysis and personalized treatment plans. Thank you. Next, we have AI in Education Award. Our top innovators in this category are Automaton AI Infosystems, SmartTail, and Supervised Learning AI Solutions. The winner in this category is Automaton AI Infosystems. I request Mr. Bhushan Mutyan to come onto the dais and collect the award. Automaton AI's AI Research and Education Initiative accelerates AI progress in universities, colleges, and other educational institutions, creating opportunity for students and faculty to collaborate and develop AI projects using state-of-art Advent AI labs. We will be delivering the award to the founder since he's unavailable. We will move on to the next award. We have Indigenous AI Solution Award. The top innovators in this category are Lumo AI, GoShow, and Kiss AI. The winner is Lumo AI founder Mr. Shivam Gupta. I request him to come onto the dais. Lumo provides high-growth SaaS businesses with cost-effective LLM features, integrating seamlessly into their core products. Its solution enables significant advancements in AI without exceeding budgets through their impactful and innovative approach. Can we have a loud applause for the winner? innovation. The top shortlisted startups in this category are Sunfox, Portal, and Neodocs. The winner is Sunfox founder Mr. Rajat Jain. Mr. Sagar will be collecting this award on his behalf. Sunfox is an R&D lab dedicated to advancing healthcare technologies for the digital age using AI, focusing on affordable and accessible solutions. Next, we have AI-driven Internet of Things Impact Award. The top innovators in this category are Zest IoT, Portal, and Exceed.io. The winner is Zest IoT founder Mr. Amit Sukhija. I request Mr. Amit Chiranjeevi and Mr. Chiranjeevi to receive the award. Zest IoT's ground radar utilizes Internet of Things and camera AI to automate and digitize over 100 ground operations, enhancing efficiency and accuracy.
Tell him to stay back. Pitch deck or pitch deck after his lunch.
Next, we have the Emerging Deep Tech Startup Using AI Award. The top shortlisted startups in this category are August Devices, Edgeable, and Automator. The winner is August Devices, founder Mr. Suryavamshi and Shruti. I request both of them to come onto the dais and receive the award. August Devices India specializes in AI-based camera solutions, including conference action surveillance cameras with an integrated ecosystem for security, feed management, and data analysis using AI. Thank you, Jayesh Ranjan Garu. We request you to stay back on the dais. We have a very special launch, that is the pitch games, that is being held at Global AI Summit. I request Rahul Peth to come onto the stage to do the launch together. And I welcome Anirudh Reddy as well, Head of Operations Math, to inaugurate this launch. All the startups that are winners tonight will be going through a workshop that is conducted by 100X, and they will be trained to pitch in front of the VCs who are part of the pitch games on Global AI Summit on 5th of September. In its first edition, organized by Math at Global AI Summit. Pitch Games is an opportunity for entrepreneurs and founders to pitch their innovations to the top global capability centers, venture capitalists, and fund houses. Now I request all the winners to please come onto the dais to have a group picture. I also request Srimati Ramadevi Garu, Director of Emerging Technologies, to come onto the dais to join the picture. Can we have the Innovation Gala Award winners on the stage, please? Okay. So we have two last awards for the night. We were just saving them for the last. We have the Outstanding AI Upskilling Platform Award. The top shortlisted startups in this category are Talent Firm, Supervised Learning, and AI School. The winner is Talent Firm founder Mr. Pankaj and Sudarshan. I request both of them to come onto the dais to receive the award. Talent Firm excels in matching highly skilled data-backed talent with evolving industry needs. Its AI-driven approach ensures precise alignment between professionals and opportunities. Our last award for the night, last but not the least, AI Innovation of the Year Award. The top innovators in this category are Rava.ai, Adhya.ai, and Quipu. The winner is Rava.ai founder Mr. Kiran Babu. I request Mr. Kiran, Haritha, and Shrikant to come onto the dais and collect the award. Rava is an AI-powered marketing co-pilot tailored for startups and SMBs, enhancing go-to-market strategies with advanced insights and automation. Can we have a loud round of applause for Rava? I request the team. I request all the award winners to come onto the dais in all the 15 categories for a group picture. I also request Team Math, who have worked tirelessly day in, day out with the huge volume of response that we have received, to come onto the dais as well to join the picture. Can we quickly have all the winners near the dais, please? Team forward and join the group picture, please.
I will just request our ecosystem partners, Sameer, if you can come on stage, Prashant from HYSIA, Sir from team from Task, please. And all our ecosystem partners, please, anyone from Rich, VHub. Yeah. Thank you.
I welcome Srinivas Taluka Garu onto the stage to give the thank you note.
Thank you. Good evening. A warm and graceful evening to our Honorable Chief Guest, Jayashankar Sir, who is the Special Chief Secretary of the Industries and Commerce and Information Technology Departments of Government of Telangana, and Ms. Ramadevi Ma'am, Director Emerging Technologies, Government of Telangana, and to our distinguished guests, innovators, friends, and everyone gathered here. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contributions of those who joined us to make this event possible. We extend heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for attending the InnovAtIon Gala Awards 2024 hosted by Math at T-Hub. Your presence made this event truly remarkable and resounding success. A special thanks to our Honorable Chief Guest, Jayashankar Sir, who has paid his valuable time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion, whose unwavering support for technological advancements continues to inspire all of us. Sir, your vision and the dedication are key drivers in positioning Hyderabad as a great place in the country. We also would like to express our deepest appreciation to the Director of ET for your invaluable contributions and insights that have greatly enriched our discussions on AI innovation. We thank all our distinguished dignitaries who graced us with their presence. Your participation was instrumental in fostering an innovation of collaboration and creativity. Your support is crucial as we strive to turn the grand of making Hyderabad a global leader in AI into reality. Together, we are building a future where innovation knows no bounds. Finally, we would like to thank HYSIA, Emerging Technology, and all our sponsors for their support and encouragement. We thank you all once again for being a part of this extraordinary event. Thank you so much. Now the floor is open. We have arranged dinner at outside Courtyard Land. All of you please join us at dinner. Thank you.